أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. This week we will be speaking about Imam Zayd ibn Ali. I don't know how many of you are familiar with history, but not many people are, from my experience, not many people are very familiar with Imam Zayd ibn Ali. He was born in the year 80 of the Hijrah, and he became a Shaheed in the year 122 of the Hijrah. That gives him a lifespan of about 42 years. Okay. He is the son of Ali ibn Al-Hussein, the only survivor of the family of Imam Hussein from the tragedy of Karbala. Otherwise known as Zainul Abideen, Imam Zaynul Abideen. Some people just refer to him as that in their books and in their literature. Imam Zaynul Abideen was what you may call a permanent resident of Al-Medinah. And Al-Medinah at that time was the concentration city in which since what you may call sincere Muslims and enlightened Muslims and scholarly Muslims and affectionate Muslims had found a place to, relatively speaking, peacefully live. What comes out, we're looking at Imam Zayd's father here. What comes out of his personality is that he was somewhat a very passionate and a very sensitive and some may say a very emotional type of person. At one time someone asked him, I realize you're extraordinarily emotional. And his response was to the effect that Yaqub, the Prophet Yaqub, cried because he lost his son, or he no longer had his son in his family, and he didn't know whether his son was dead or not. And so his eyes turned white. He lost his sight because of his emotions towards his son. And I, meaning Zainul Abideen, I lost 12 of my family when I was young in front of my own eyes. So obviously that's going to leave its imprint on me. We should also say that in the generation of Imam Zaynul Abideen, there were what may be called, bringing the word out into English sometimes becomes offensive to some people and it becomes inaccurate to other people. But they are the Shi'ites who are more Alawis than Imam Ali himself. Let's put it that way. The holier than thou Shi'ites. These types of people began to emerge during this generation, during the time of Imam Zaynul Abideen. Of course, this was after the catastrophe of Karbala. And they used to have their encounters with Imam. Of course, Imam Zayd was still young, but he was growing up in this atmosphere. And they used to come and ask Imam Zayd's father, what do you think? And I think this question is still asked today. Some people deal with it in a roundabout manner. Some people still rehearse for us the same components of history that we are looking at here. They ask him, what do you think about Abu Bakr and Umar? And they would express their what you may call unaccommodating language towards Abu Bakr and Umar. On one occasion, of course, this was like a phenomenon. It wasn't something that just one time it happened. It was a recurring thing. And one of these, let's say, groups who came to him on one occasion and were querying about Abu Bakr and Umar, he said to them, okay, you tell us who you are. Now remember, these are supposed to be supporters of the Imams, of Tashayyu', of the Alawi position against the Umayyads and these things. And then he said, Imam Zaynul Abideen said to these holier than thou Shi'ites, are you from al-Muhajirin al-Awwaleen? You know, this is a take from the ayat of the Quran. Al-Muhajirin al-Awwaleen alladhina ukhriju min diyarihim wa amwalihim yabtaghuna fadlan min Allahi wa ridwana wa yansuruna Allah wa rasulah. Which means, are you from the first generation of those who relocated from Mecca to Al-Medinah, who were expelled from their homes and who were dispossessed from their wealth, all for the purpose of trying to satisfy or comply with Allah and to provide support to Allah and His Prophet? This was a reference. And Imam Zaynul Abideen was in the words of, trying to use the words of the Quran to explain to these people who are now trying to be gung-ho about the position of Imam Ali and the position of the household or the extended family of the Prophet. They said no, none of them belonged to that generation. None of them were from the Muhajirin. So the inference here is, you're asking me about people, about two individuals who come from the honorific meanings of these ayat. He didn't stop here. He said, are you أَفَأَنْتُمْ مِنَ الَّذِينَ تَبَوَّأُوا الدَّارَ وَالْإِيمَانَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ يُحِبُّونَ مَنْ هَاجَرَ إِلَيْهِمْ? Are you the ones who offered accommodation? This is also back in reference to the Muhajirin al-Ansar, but this is speaking in particular about al-Ansar, who gave accommodation and who gave moral and physical support to these, let's call them refugees, who came from Mecca, who came having nothing, and then there were people who supported them. Are you from them? They said no. So he said to them, so right now you have just testified against your own selves. You are not from those, in reference to the Muhajirin, and you are not from the others, in reference to the Ansar.